Hi, BookTube. So I've been mixing things up a little bit and been listening and slash reading digital books for a bit. I have put so much of a priority this month on reading my physical books, and that's not normally what I do. I normally do, I would say, it's like 60 or 70 or 80% ebook, and then, you know, I would like to get to 50% digital. I mean, not digital, physical books, just to get them off my shelves. But anyway, so, because I am constantly borrowing books from the library through the Libby app. Like I always have like over 100, or at least I feel like it probably is actually. In fact, I know it is currently because I have like over 60 audiobooks checked out and ebooks as well, like each, like 50 or 60 each. So, yeah, so I know those are still coming in, even though I'm putting a focus on my books that I own. So I wanted to at least get to a couple of those. I have got a little sprinkling in, throughout this month. But anyway, so I haven't finished this book yet, but I started CJ Box's Stone Cold. I can't remember what number this is. But I know I talked about this the other day. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. But it's following a game warden and his friend, who we have seen pop up here and there throughout the series, and he's always been like the main character, the game warden, is very much a rule follower, or at least following a really good strong code of ethics, where his friend is questionable. He kind of makes up his own rules and determines his own justice, if that makes sense. But in this book, the game warden hasn't seen his friend in over a year, and the last time he saw him, he noticed like something has changed in him. He seems a bit more wild, and now he's on in this investigation, and we're getting little glimpses here and there of his friend or ex-friend or what have you is working with the enemy. So I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, but yeah, it's been an interesting read. I wouldn't start with this book because, like I said, I think it's like the 10th book in the series, something like that. So to get more understanding of the two characters, you would want to start with the first one. And yeah, in the series is the Joe Pickett series. And as far as books I have finished, I finished listening to 2 audiobooks. The first one is Loretta Lynn, Me and Patsy Kicking Up Dust, My Friendship with Patsy Cline. And I listened to this in audiobook, and it was narrated by Loretta Lynn's daughter, and I want to say it's Patsy. Patsy was Patsy Lynn, was the narrator. I can't remember off the top of my head, but for sure it was her daughter. And then it's a foreword by Dolly Parton. And this was a fantastic, quick little book. It was like 4 hours or so on audio, and it's all about, because I not listened. I watched the movie a couple of years ago. The coal miner's daughter, featuring Loretta Lynn's life, and Patsy Cline's was in there, and that's talked about in this book. So I knew a little bit about their friendship, but this just goes into more detail how Loretta really looked up to Patsy, because even though they were the same age, Loretta was kind of like behind in not maturing, but just in coming into herself. She talked about how she got married so young and didn't have any chance to form any kind of independence or her own kind of thoughts, because she talks about she went from her family's house straight to her husband's house, and then just went under his rules and whatever. And so Patsy really took her under her wing and showed her, this is how you wear makeup, this is how your pantyhose, and all sorts of little things like that. And they just had a really close bond. And it was a really nice read. So if you like country music or you're interested in any of these people, then I would highly recommend it. Sorry if you can't hear lots of noise. Abel has decided to attack a soccer ball that she's gotten. She constantly every week picks up a couple balls, like finds them randomly all over the place. And so she found this a couple of days ago. It's been sitting here ever since. Hasn't touched it because she's kind of like a cat bringing home her prize. She'll drop it on the doorway, like into the little foyer, and then won't touch it really. But I think because I'm talking, it's like her little stirred up, and so she's having a ball over here. And then speaking of dogs, this actually works out perfectly, because the other audiobook I listened to, this one was super short. It was under an hour. It's Good Dog Stay by Anna Quindlen. And this is all about her and dogs, her life with this one black lab who is getting elderly, and it talks about, making the decision to put him down, and she really emphasizes that terminology of putting him down. Thank goodness it was under an hour, because I could not have handled any more than was that, because my throat was getting tight. I was just like, oh, because any dog owner or lover, I feel like has gone through those moments, and it's never fun, and it's just like it was bringing back all those memories. But yeah, this was a good read. If you're interested in that, I would for sure recommend like being in that right mindset to read it, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to today. I'm hoping the next 2 days to get lots of outdoor clips and whatnot, because starting on Saturday, it looks like it's just going to be like at least damp, rainy, chilly, that kind of weather for the foreseeable future. But the next 2 days are going to be nice and warm and full of sunshine. So I really want to get outside and enjoy that weather. So yeah, I'm going to take you along with me. So look forward to more interesting vlogs coming up. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.